I literally just ate lunch and I made this TikTok recipe that I saw on TikTok. This really hot guy was making, I think you can call them fish tacos, but it was actually so good. Like, if you guys want me to cook for you, you can pay me like a lot of money and I'll cook for you if you want. Today I want to talk about a TikTok trend. My 2022 eras, where they like list the eras that they've been through this year. I'm going to tell you guys about my 2022 eras, what they were, and just background on them, because I feel like 2022 is coming to an end. We are slowly moving into 2023, which is freaking crazy. I cannot wrap my head around that. That is actually, how the hell is it 2023 nearly? And guys, I'm gonna be 18. This is not normal. I don't want to be 18. I want to stay young. I want to stay a teenager. I'm still gonna be a teenager, but I don't want to be an adult. But for the time being, I'm still 17. So let's just be in the moment and reflect on this past year. All my eras, good, bad. Could you guys do me a huge favor and just rate and follow the podcast so I can get it spread to more people throughout Spotify? I would really appreciate that. And maybe write a review if you guys have any comments or video or podcast requests. I would really appreciate it, and I'm always open to how you guys would like me to improve. It is me again after training, so I'm getting ready to go to bed, but I thought I'd record this podcast because I'm in the mood to kind of talk and I have a lot of thoughts running in my head. So I thought let's just make use of those thoughts. Getting into my first era that I started during the new year was really my book talk era / reading era. I actually got so many books for Christmas and I romanticized reading so much, which isn't a bad thing. Like, yes, like I'd rather read than be on my phone the whole day. I remember I just bought so many books and it was just so aesthetic, like going into a bookshop and like reading the blurb of books and stuff. I feel like I enjoyed buying books more than actually reading the books. Some book recommendations that I actually really enjoyed when I was in my book loving stage was, these are really cliche books, but The Silent Patient, Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover, as well as obviously The Glorious. Book that got me into reading in the first, like reading again in the first place was It Ends With Us. I finished it in like, I think 2 days, because it was really good. I thought it was good for, I think if you want to get into reading, that's the first book you should read because it's actually really interesting. And then a book series that I really enjoyed that I did not finish, which is my only motivation to get me back into reading, is to finish that book series. It is the Addicted / Calloway Sisters series, which is like an intertwined series. The author is Krista and Becca Ritchie. Oh my god, I think there are like 8 books in this series, but it's actually really interesting. And then I think down the line they have children. It's like a big friendship group. It's actually really good. I love it. But I did not finish it because there is one book that is kind of boring, because if you read the series intertwined, oh my god, there's one book that literally just recounts everything that happened in the book before, and sometimes and I don't think I've gotten out of that reading slump since, which is sad, but maybe I'll get back into reading, who knows. Okay, so the next era of my life that I entered during my reading era probably is my sick girl era. Very quickly took off in October of 2021 when I got COVID, and it was actually a horrible experience. Like, I don't think I felt that bad, and like that was the worst I've ever felt. Like, out of every freaking, I think I got long COVID, so it lasted for like 3 months. I could barely like train, and it was like really hectic, and not 3 months, but it lasted for like 1 or 2 months before I fully recovered and I felt like much better. This is from the point of view of training. I was coughing for like 4 weeks after I got COVID, but my trainings were very much affected. I didn't think I was going to get sick again, but I did enter my sick girl era again in January. The reason I actually know this is I looked through my camera roll of like every month of the year so I could like recap on what happened and what eras I went through in my life. And there were like a bunch of pictures in my camera roll of me crying. And like looking back at it now, it's like the only reason I took those pictures is so I can look back on them now and be like, oh my god, that was so funny. Or like, you know, oh my god, I'm so happy that happened. So I actually do recommend that. I also want to do a podcast episode on like not taking yourself too seriously. But yeah, so in the moment, it seemed like my world was crumbling down. And now I just look back on it and I'm like, oh my god, girl, like, you don't know what's coming for you. Like, you're gonna have such a good year. Do not worry. But that is a fact that my year did not start off the best. So I had my sick girl era. Then I entered my things just got worse era, which was actually really, it was, you know, when you're at the point where it's like, this cannot get any worse. And it's like the universe responds and they're like, oh girl, oh girl, like you're so wrong. Yes, things will get worse. And things did get worse. My trainings were going really badly and I was just not in the mental headspace. My confidence was low and it was just cold and I wasn't motivated because obviously if my trainings aren't going to go well, really, really hard to find motivation. But the only thing I can tell you during those times is you just have to persevere and like keep going because there is light at the end of the tunnel. And just take like small strings, like small, even if it's like the tiniest freaking paper clip of hope and success in your trainings. Take it, because that's like, grab it by the freaking balls so you can pull yourself out of that shithole, because no one else is going to pull you out of that hole except for you. If you're going to sit there and sulk and feel bad for yourself, nothing is going to happen. You have to get your ass up. These are the things that are going to make you so strong. Like, they're going to make you so mentally strong. And I'm actually so proud of myself that I went through so many things and so many hardships that were hard, like for me personally. I know people may have gone through things in life that are much more tough, but there were battles that I was fighting that made me so strong. And the only thing I can tell you is there's just persevere and wait out the wave, because it's going to get better. It's going to get so much better. I'm also so happy that I actually had people around me that were so supportive of me during that time. Like my coach, like he's literally like the person that I can thank everything for. Like he has always motivated me and told me to keep going, like keep persevering, and he believes in me, and so do my family and my friends. Like it would have been so much harder to get through everything if it wasn't for them, and I am so happy and grateful. Okay, so then came my tanned girl beach era. People from the national team get to go to like a training camp abroad that they choose, and usually it's a pool that's outside. So when it's winter in Hungary, we get to go to like a warmer climate where like conditions are better, you know, you have more of it motivation, you're really just focusing on training and swimming. In my things are getting kind of better era, and I did enter my tanned girl beach era because I was so tanned. And I remember we're going there this year as well in April. I am actually so obsessed with goggle tans. Like I think goggle tans are so fun, except for that is when obviously you're training 4 hours a day in goggles, so your whole face gets tanned except for the mark of your goggle stays. The only thing that I do not like is when your cap also can be seen on your forehead. So if you're a swimmer, remember when you're swimming outside, please pull your freaking cap up to your hairline, because it's going to show if you're putting it to the middle of your forehead. So that's a quick tip for all the swimmers out there. So I love this tan girl beach era because I think what makes a training camp good is the people that go with you there. So if you're friends and you can create a good bond with them, a good friendship group, then the whole training camp is going to be so much fun. And trainings are going to go well because you're motivated and it's a different environment. So Tenerife is so much fun. Like It's so easily accessible, and there are so many beaches, and the people are all actually so nice. I remember we went dolphin watching, which was kind of underwhelming, to be honest. But we did see dolphins. It was just took a long time for us to see them. And then we also went to this pier thing, and it was actually so aesthetic. I remember we got our hair braided into like this string thingy. It's up on my Instagram. I have a picture up on it on my Instagram. Really fun. That was like part one of my Tan Girl Beach era, because I had another Tan Girl Beach era during the summer of 2022. That is when I came back from my Tan Girl Beach era. I was feeling so good until we had an adult nationals, and I entered my sad girl era because my nationals went really badly. I mean, I wouldn't say really badly, but they didn't go as expected. You know, when you have like really high hopes and it's just you're not meeting those high hopes, so sometimes it can, you know, really discourage you. But I got out of that sad girl era pretty quickly and entered my catching flights era because I went to so many competitions. I think my catching flights era has just ended now in October. During one of my trainings, I was counting how many countries I went to this year. Okay, let's say Hungary is my starting point, so we won't count Hungary. I went to Tenerife, Spain. So I went to Spain, Portugal, for the Junior Open Water European Championships. And then I went to Romania for the Junior European Championships, like the one in the normal pool. Then I went to the Seychelles for the Junior Open Water World Championships. And then I went to Kuwait to see my parents. Now in October, we went to Eilat for the Swimming Open Water World Cup. 6 countries! And oh my God, in December, we're going to Spain with the family for Christmas. I'm just so excited. It's just a good change of environment for Christmas. That is like our Christmas present for everyone in the family. We decided that we're not gonna get any Christmas presents for anyone. Obviously, this always happens. Like we say, okay, we're not getting each other presents, and then everyone gets everyone presents. So I'm still gonna have to come up with something to get everyone. My catching flights era has just ended. And then during my catching flights era, I did have a I don't give a fuck anymore era, which was intertwined with my party girl era, where I literally was just like, okay, I've had enough of swimming, of everything. This era didn't last too long, don't worry. It lasted like a week or two, and I was just really unmotivated and just very discouraged from how competitions went, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I just don't want to do this anymore. That era was so fun because, again, I did learn a lot. That was a very hard time in my life again, but that was my first clubbing experience, and it was so much fun. Like, we went with such a good group of people, and my friends got drunk. I didn't, but it was really funny seeing my friends drunk. My one friend was laying on the floor. My one friend was laying on the floor, holding up the middle finger to a random person and being like, suck my dick, suck my dick. I was like, girl, what are you doing? Friendship group was so good. I remember we stayed at my friend's house, and the day after we went to go get brunch at this place like in the city, and I got pancakes with bacon, and they tasted so good. I've been craving those pancakes since then. So that was my I don't give a fuck era. That lasted like 2 or 3 weeks. Pretty quickly also entered my hot girl summer era and my thriving era, which was this summer. Guys, when I tell you hot girl summer was hot girl summer, I mean hot girl summer not in the way that I was like hoeing around, because I really wasn't. Hot girl summer era was as in like I was a hot girl in the summer, like tanned. I had like a banging body. I mean, I don't think I have a bad body now. Like, I look good now as well, I think. But with the tan, like, it was just immaculate. Obviously, I had to train the whole summer because Junior Open Water World Championships was in September. So we had to train the whole summer. But despite that, everything went so well. We had a training camp at the Lake Balaton in Hungary. We got to swim open water a lot. So we were all so tanned, and the vibes were just so great because, again, like the group of people. It's so funny because prior to the training camp you get to know who's coming, and when I looked at the list I was like, oh my god, how the hell is this, like this group of people I don't know how we're going to click, but we clicked so well, like so many different personalities, and you wouldn't even expect it to click so well, but it did. My hot girl summer era was great, and then my thriving era came hand in hand with that, because my competition in the Seychelles in September of 2022, the Junior Open Water World Championships, went so well. Right after that, I got to go back to Kuwait to meet my parents and all of my friends that I didn't see in like 3 years, and they threw me a surprise party, and I met I got to see my best friend again, and after I think 2 or 3 years, and it was like, you know that feeling when we talked in text and stuff, but you know that feeling when you haven't talked to someone in real life in so long, but when you like come back to meet each other and it's like the exact same as it was, both gonna be there for each other like for forever, and it's just so good to have people that you know you can turn to. That was my thriving era, and I'm still in my thriving era, but right now I'm in my that bitch era, which you should listen to that podcast after you listen to this one if you want to enter your that bitch era. I really do feel like that bitch because I'm grinding. I'm working my ass off now. My driver's license is on its way. I'm pretty close to finishing my driver's license. I'm studying and training, and we have so many competitions coming up, and it's just the vibes are so good. I feel just so happy and content with myself. And I hope that you do too, because you are perfect just the way you are. I really hope you realize that one day you're going to look back and be like, why was I even so unconfident in myself? Like I could have taken that energy and put it into something positive. Like just don't accept negative self-talk, because it's literally not going to make anything better. Make life what you want life to be. Really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Maybe it was kind of short, I'm not sure, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I think I'm going to put out a podcast on Wednesday as well, because I have another idea I really want to touch on. Please make sure to leave a rate and review. I'm actually getting a lot of good feedback on the podcast, so I'm really happy you guys are enjoying it. I really hope to see you next time. I love you. Please remember, you are amazing, you're perfect, you are that bitch, and you're capable of anything. Yeppa, something fell. Anyways, you are capable of anything you decide you want to do or be. So that is the message I'm going to leave you with today. I love you, and I'll see you next time.